My name's Goucher. I'm from Duluth, Minnesota. I came to CU and graduated in 2001. I studied psychology, and I was on the cross country and indoor and outdoor track teams. I kind of struggled my senior year in high school, so a lot of the schools that I was talking with were not really offering me scholarships or spots on the team, and so I kind of searched elsewhere, and I actually kind of sold myself to CU. I was back in the day of answering machines, and so I had this little pitch, I left it on the answering machine, and I ended up coming out for a visit, and I just loved the culture of the team. I loved that running was so important, but so was academics to the coaches, and they really thought about a career beyond college as well. But what really got me was like this long-term development, because I had been like a high school superstar when I was younger, and then I had been struggling. So I really liked the idea of someone that was going to believe in me over time. And also I love the weather here. I'm from northern Minnesota, and once it snows, it stays for 3 or 4 months. And it was like sunny here, and snow was melting while I was here. And so between the weather and the coaches and the long-term plan of the running program, I just really wanted to come here. When I came to CU, I was not necessarily the best on the team, and the coach, Mark Wetmore, he really sat me down and said, you're going to be here for at least 4 years, maybe 5 years. I really want us to think of a long-term development. You don't need to be your best today. I want you to be your best when you're a senior. And that meant a lot to me, and so I really took that seriously. And sure enough, my freshman year I was not great, I qualified for nationals with the cross-country team, but I think I finished 150th or something at nationals. But the next year I finished 50th, the next year I finished 9th, and my senior year I won the national title. So I really bought into that long-term development. I ended up winning 3 NCAA individual titles here and 1 team title, and that really set me up to continue with a running career after college. I found community connection just through my teammates with like a shared goal, shared vision. We were really dedicated to the program here and dedicated to each other. And I had coaches that really believed in me, but also I had really great professors and good advisors that believed in me in the classroom as well. And so I just was so lucky to be on the team because I automatically had a group of people that had my back. And the team at CU is special in the fact that the men and women trained together. So I just had a huge group of people right away that were looking out for me and helping me in that transition to college life. After I graduated from CU, I signed a professional contract and became a professional athlete. I struggled with my running for a little bit, becoming a professional was tough for me. I had some injuries, but once things got rolling, I ended up making 2 Olympic teams, multiple world championship teams. I got a silver medal at the World Championships in 2007 in the 10,000 meters, and I finished on the podium at the New York and Boston marathons. So I ended up having a nice long running career. Now I live in Boulder, Colorado, where I'm helping raise my son, my 13-year-old son, with my husband, who also went to CU and also was a national champion here in cross country and track. And I'm still involved in the sport of running. I still have sponsors that sponsor me, even though I don't race anymore. But my main job is I'm a broadcaster for NBC Sports. So I talk about the distance races at the Olympics, the World Championships. Anytime you turn a track meet on TV, if there's a woman talking about distance running, it's probably me. I think I was lucky in that the men's and women's track and field program were combined at CU, so the women and men were absolutely treated equally. So I was really lucky in that sense, where I didn't look and think I wasn't getting what everyone else was getting. Moving back and living here now and going to games and things like that, it's been really cool for me to see the progress in just the facilities, but also the support of the women's teams. Specifically, women's basketball has been amazing. My husband and I went to a game that was sold out a month ago, and just seeing that program really rise back up. They were actually really good when I was at CU, so seeing that program come back and seeing the community really support it and seeing them in a facility that they deserve to be in. So I just think I never really thought that the women weren't as important at CU because that's not the way my program, the track and field program, was run, but it's cool to see it like kind of all across all sports right now at CU, that the women are getting the attention, the men are getting the facilities and the support from the community. I'm hopeful for women's sport in a bunch of different ways. I think we've seen a rise in specifically collegiate women's basketball, and the interest has grown. I think that can be attributed to a couple players, but we've seen it then, the intention on those couple players really go across the entire sport. And so seeing women's basketball really start to take center stage and get more attention and get more television time, it makes me really hopeful that that's actually going to bleed into professional sport for women. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about just the depth. Of course, I come from a running background, so I'm excited about the depth in the United States that we have in women's running, specifically distance running or mid-distance running, so the mile through the marathon. And I'm just excited. I feel like women's sports are really becoming more of a focal point, and they're getting more television and airtime, which really then sets up the next generation that's watching it right now, growing up knowing what they can be. It's hard to be something you never saw or to believe in something you never saw. So I just feel like women's sports are really coming on and people are paying attention and they're seeing that when you put it on TV, people watch. So I just think the future of women's sport is only going to get better.